What if the one place you trust most, your bedroom, is quietly making you sick? I discovered this harsh truth when my 70-year-old sister couldn't shake her morning headaches and fatigue, despite getting plenty of rest. Turns out her sanctuary was secretly sabotaging her health. Friends, our bedrooms should heal us, not harm us. I'm speaking from experience here. At 72, I've learned that our bodies become more vulnerable to things younger folks might easily brush off. The good news? I've identified 5 hidden bedroom dangers that could be affecting your sleep, breathing, even your memory. And fixing them is surprisingly simple. Number 5 shocked even me, and it's something 83% of us seniors do every single night without realizing the damage. Stay with me. These 5 minutes could change how you feel every morning for years to come. Before we dive in, drop a quick comment with your city. I'd love to know where my fellow wisdom carriers are watching from. Hit that like and subscribe button too. Now, let's start with the most overlooked bedroom culprit that's likely sitting on your nightstand right now. 1. Phones in bed, the modern sleep thief. Number 5, the one most folks overlook, is that innocent-looking smartphone right there on your nightstand. Now, I'm not pointing fingers here because I'm just as guilty. Every night I'd tell myself, just a quick peek at the weather forecast. Next thing I know, I'm watching videos of cats playing piano at midnight. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? We think we're just relaxing, but these little devices are actually robbing us of something precious, our sleep. And at our age, that's gold we can't afford to lose. Let me tell you what's really happening. That blue light from your screen is like a big old cup of coffee to your brain. It shouts, "Rise and shine," even when it's bedtime. My doctor explained it to me in simple terms. He said, "Tom, that blue light blocks melatonin, your sleep hormone, and after 65, you're already making 30% less than you did at 45. No wonder I was feeling like a zombie most mornings. I remember my fishing buddy Frank, stubborn as a mule, that one. He couldn't figure out why he'd toss and turn all night, despite being dog-tired. "Just part of getting older," he'd grumble. Then his heart doctor told him his late-night phone habit was actually pushing his blood pressure through the roof. That got his attention real quick. It's not just making us tired either. Poor sleep from these phones is messing with our memory. And good Lord knows I don't need any help forgetting where I put my glasses. It's causing that morning brain fog that doesn't lift until after lunch. Some days I couldn't tell you my own phone number before my second cup of coffee. Now I understand the worry. But what if my grandkids need to reach me? That's exactly what I said too. So here's my compromise. I keep the phone in my bedroom, but across the room where I can't reach it from bed. I set it to ring only for family numbers. They can still reach me if little Jimmy breaks his arm at midnight, but I'm not tempted to check Facebook one last time. Want to know what else helped me? I bought a simple alarm clock with numbers big enough to see without my reading glasses. Cost me all of $12 at the drugstore. Now I read a good old-fashioned paperback for 20 minutes instead of scrolling. I sleep like a baby these days. You know what surprised me most? 3 weeks after making this change, my morning arthritis wasn't screaming at me like usual. Better sleep meant less pain. Who would have thought? Try this tonight. Just one night. Put that phone in another room before bed. That's all I'm asking. See how you feel in the morning. I bet you dollars to donuts you'll notice a difference. What do you say? Can you try one night without your phone? Let me know in the comments if you're willing to take on this little challenge. Now, speaking of things that seem harmless but aren't, let's talk about what's filling your bedroom air right now. 2. Artificial scents. Smells good, feels bad. You know what takes me back? Walking into my mother's house and smelling that potpourri she always had simmering. Or my late wife Doris's apple cinnamon candles at Christmas time. Smells wonderful, doesn't it? Makes a house feel like home. But here's something I learned the hard way. Those scented plugins, fancy sprays, and most store-bought candles aren't the same as Grandma's potpourri. Not by a long shot. Last winter, my daughter Janet, bless her heart, gave me one of those plug-in air fresheners. Pine Forest, or some such name. 2 days later, I was hacking and coughing so bad my neighbor thought I'd taken up my old smoking habit again. I figured it was just a cold coming on. It wasn't. During my checkup, I mentioned it to Dr. Reynolds. He nodded like he'd heard this story 100 times. Those artificial fragrances release chemicals called Vioxx, he said. Your lungs at 70 aren't the same as they were at 40. They can't filter out these irritants like they used to. That explained the mysterious symptoms I'd been brushing off as just getting older. That scratchy throat first thing in the morning, the headaches that seemed to come from nowhere. Some mornings I felt dizzy, or like my brain was wrapped in cotton. Now it all made sense. Dr. Reynolds told me something else that got my attention. These chemicals can actually mess with the medications many of us take daily. My blood pressure pills, my cholesterol medicine, these air fresheners were making them less effective. No wonder my numbers were all over the place at my last checkup. I remember thinking, well, that's just great. Now my house is going to smell like old man and TV dinners. But I found some simple fixes that work just as well. Every Sunday now, I simmer a pot of water with some cinnamon sticks and orange peels. Costs next to nothing, and my whole apartment smells like I've been baking all day. My neighbor Marge, she's 82 and sharp as a tack, puts a vanilla bean in a small dish in her oven on low heat for about 20 minutes. Works beautifully. For something even simpler, I keep a small dish of baking soda with a few drops of real lavender oil in my bedroom. Just make sure you get the real stuff, not the synthetic kind. I noticed a difference within days of making this switch. I could breathe easier in the mornings. The foggy feeling lifted. And believe it or not, my medicine seemed to work better too. Have you ever noticed feeling off after using a scented product? I'd love to hear your experience. Drop it in the comments below. Now, let's talk about something you probably haven't thought about in years. That pillow under your head every night. 3. Old pillows, the silent health saboteur. Now let's talk about number 3. That comfortable old pillow you've been resting your head on night after night. How long have you had yours? 2 years? 5? Maybe longer? I had the same pillow for nearly 8 years. Still feels fine, I'd tell my daughter when she'd suggest replacing it. What I didn't know then would have made me change it years earlier. Did you know that after just 2 years, about a third of your pillow's weight can be made up of dead skin cells, dust mites, and their droppings? I'm not making this up, folks. When they showed me a microscope image of what was living in my old pillow, I nearly fell out of my chair. At our age, our immune systems just aren't as robust as they used to be. Those allergens that might have given a younger person a slight sniffle can knock us flat with congestion, coughing, and fatigue. My friend Eleanor blamed her chronic sinus infections on spring pollen for years. Turned out it was her decade-old pillow causing the trouble. Here's how to tell if your pillow needs replacing, beyond just the years you've had it. Fold it in half. If it doesn't spring back to shape, it's time for a new one. Does it have yellow stains? Those are sweat marks, and trust me, they're not getting any cleaner. Wake up with a stiff neck or unexplained face breakouts. Your pillow might be the culprit. Now, choosing a replacement isn't as simple as grabbing whatever's on sale. At our age, we need to consider our specific needs. If you have arthritis in your neck or shoulders like I do, look for a memory foam pillow with contours. Side sleepers need thicker pillows than back sleepers. My wife Margaret sleeps on her back and swears by her thin, extra firm pillow that keeps her neck aligned just right. Here's something most folks don't know. If you have certain medical conditions like sleep apnea or severe arthritis, Medicare Part B might actually help cover the cost of a therapeutic pillow. You'll need a prescription from your doctor, but it's worth asking about at your next visit. Want to know if your pillow is past its prime tonight? Try this simple test. Remove the pillowcase and check for stains. Press your nose to the pillow and take a whiff. Any musty smell means mold spores have taken up residence. Finally, check for lumps or flat spots where the filling has broken down. I replaced my pillow just last month, and the difference in how I feel each morning is like night and day. My morning congestion cleared up within a week. My sleep is deeper. Even my wife says I'm snoring less. What about you? When was the last time you replaced your pillow? Let me know in the comments. Next time you're at the store, your lungs might thank you for picking up a new one. Now, on to number 2, something that might be keeping you in the dark in more ways than one. 4. Heavy curtains, blocking more than just light. Those blackout curtains looked like a blessing when I installed them 3 years ago. No more streetlights keeping me up. No more sunrise waking me at 5:30 in summer. I thought I'd found the secret to perfect sleep. Then winter came, and my daughter noticed something concerning. "Dad, you seem a little down lately, not quite yourself." She was right. I felt foggy, unmotivated, even a bit blue. I chalked it up to getting older, another joy of my golden years. But then my doctor asked an unexpected question during my checkup. "How much natural light are you getting in the morning?" "Not much, with those heavy curtains drawn tight." Turns out that was a bigger problem than I realized. You see, our bodies need that morning sunlight. It's like a natural alarm clock for our brains. When sunlight hits our eyes, it signals our body to stop producing melatonin, that sleep hormone we talked about earlier, and start making serotonin, which boosts our mood and energy. At our age, this process becomes even more important because our eyes actually let in less light than they used to. Dr. Miller explained it this way: 15 minutes of morning sunlight can be more effective than many antidepressants for seniors dealing with low mood, especially in winter. That got my attention. But it's not just about mood. Those heavy curtains were trapping stale air in my bedroom too. Every night, I was breathing recycled air with less oxygen. No wonder I sometimes woke up with a headache. Here's what I did, and what you might consider too. I kept my blackout curtains for nighttime use, but now I open them wide first thing in the morning, even on cloudy days. If getting up to open heavy curtains is hard on your joints or balance, consider installing a remote-controlled rod. My neighbor Walter has one, and he just presses a button from his bed each morning. If blackout curtains are too expensive or complicated, try this budget-friendly solution. I cut a piece of black poster board to fit my window and slip it behind my regular curtains at night. In the morning, it comes right out. Total cost, $2. For those of you who struggle with seasonal depression, and boy do I know how real that is, try sitting near a window for your morning coffee or breakfast. Those 15 minutes of natural light can change your entire day. Since making these changes, I've noticed I fall asleep more easily at night and wake up feeling more refreshed. My winter blues aren't nearly as severe. And that morning brain fog? Mostly gone by the time I finish my first cup of coffee. How about you? Do you keep your bedroom dark all day? Give morning light a chance for just 1 week and see if you notice a difference. Your brain and body might thank you. Now let's look under the bed at our final hidden troublemaker. 5. Clutter under the bed. The trap you can't see. Our final bedroom culprit is something you might not even realize is affecting you, because it's hidden from sight. That jumble of stuff under your bed. Out of sight, out of mind, right? That's what I always figured. After my wife passed, I started using that space under the bed for storage. Old photo albums, winter clothes, magazines I meant to read someday. What harm could it do? Plenty, as it turns out. My allergist discovered this connection when my breathing problems wouldn't clear up despite medication. "Let's talk about dust in your bedroom," he said. When I mentioned all the stuff under my bed, he just shook his head. Here's what happens. Everything under your bed collects dust. When you move in your sleep, and we all do, dozens of times each night, you stir up that dust, which rises into the air you breathe. With our aging respiratory systems already working harder, this hidden dust can trigger asthma, allergies, and morning congestion. But there's a safety issue too. My neighbor Ruth learned this the hard way when she reached under her bed for a box, lost her balance, and fell. At 78, any fall is serious. She was lucky to escape with just bruises, but it could have been much worse. The psychological impact surprised me most. A sleep specialist explained that our brains register clutter even when we don't consciously see it. That underbed jumble was actually causing me low-level stress all night long, preventing deep, restorative sleep. No wonder I'd wake up feeling unrested. I discovered something else during my cleanup. Prescription bottles that had rolled under there months ago. Storing medications under the bed is particularly dangerous. The varying temperatures and humidity can degrade medicine effectiveness, not to mention the risk of forgetting them entirely. Here's what worked for me. I dedicated one Saturday to clearing everything out. For things I truly needed to keep, I bought 2 flat, sealed plastic containers with secure lids. Everything else went to donations or the trash. Now I can actually vacuum under there using the long attachment on my vacuum. No bending or kneeling required. The improvement was almost immediate. I breathed easier at night. I slept more soundly. Even my memory seemed sharper, probably because I was finally getting the deep sleep my brain needed to consolidate memories. For those of us with mobility issues, ask a grandchild or neighbor to help with the initial cleanup. After that, keeping it clear is much easier than starting from scratch. Have you looked under your bed lately? What might be lurking under there? This weekend, take a peek. You might be surprised at what you find, and how much better you feel after clearing it out. Now that we've uncovered these 5 hidden bedroom hazards, which one will you tackle first? Let me know in the comments below. Well, friends, we've uncovered 5 bedroom culprits that might be stealing your health right from under your nose. Your phone at bedtime, those artificial scents, old pillows harboring unwelcome guests, heavy curtains blocking essential morning light, and that hidden clutter under your bed. The wonderful news is, fixing these doesn't require a big budget or calling in the grandkids, just a few simple changes that could have you feeling better by this time tomorrow. I'm right there with you on this journey. This week, I'm tackling my own bedroom, starting with that phone habit. Next month, we'll look at hidden dangers in another room many of us spend hours in, the kitchen. You won't believe what's lurking in your refrigerator. Remember, at our age, every good night's sleep, every easy breath, every pain-free morning is precious. You've earned the right to feel your best. If this helped you spot something in your own bedroom, hit that like button. Subscribe for more tips from someone who's walking the same path you are. And please, share which of these 5 you'll be addressing first. I read every comment. Until next time, sleep well, breathe easy, and keep glowing in your golden years.